UFC Fight Night Cejudo versus Song is coming up this weekend, and today, guys, I have the complete betting guide for you with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Guys, we're going to be going through confident picks, underdog opportunities, fights that I believe you should not be betting on, my personal lock of the week, and then we're going to get into the more fun part of the video, that being looking for any props that are out right now and making some ridiculous, stupid parlays, like taking a look at what all the underdogs we get and stuff like that. And then we are going to move into the channel betting recap. If you would like to skip to any part of the video, timestamps will be there again for you to check out, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started with some of the confident picks on the card. The first one being Mansour Abdul Malik. Guys, it's one of those cases of a fighter in Nick Clen that I haven't been necessarily too impressed with, and Mansour Abdul Malik looking like an absolute killer. Malik is one of those guys that I truthfully do believe that he has a ton of potential, not only in just the entry level to the UFC, but I'm talking long term down the road. This guy really looks like he could be a contender. So a confident pick of mine is going to be Mansour Abdul Malik. I don't see anything that Nick Clen has for him that will take him on. And now, if you guys are also new to the channel over here, the betting guide videos are kind of like a recap of my thoughts over here. If you're interested in me diving into their styles, getting into as deep as these fights as we can possibly get to, I do have a full card breakdown video for you to check out if you would like to. So with that being said, let's get into the next confident pick, guys. That's going to be Melquizel Costa. I believe he's a very underrated fighter. Andre Fili, while he is an inconsistent fighter, he hasn't looked so good in recent years. He has exited his prime, and I think Melquizel Costa has had good performances against good competition. I think he's a very, very well-rounded fighter, and I have a hard time believing somebody that is pretty defensively sound in Melquizel Costa will have any issues with anything that Andre Fili could bring up for him. So I am very confident that Melquizel Costa will get the job done. That's a bet that I'm actually considering placing, okay? Let's continue on over to the next confident pick. One that is on everybody's confident pick list, probably that is going to be Gene Silva. The dude looks like he could be a top 5 contender. While Melzik Baghdasaryan is a fun fighter, is a good fighter in himself, Gene Silva has looked like a killer. The dude comes in, he is incredibly violent. He looks like he literally enjoys hurting people. He has all the technique in the world. He's one of the prospects over from the Fighting Nerds. I love what I've seen from him. I think that he's probably going to walk through Melzik Baghdasaryan, and it's going to take a highly ranked fighter to give Gene Silva a really, really tough fight. So Gene Silva is another confident pick of mine. Let's continue on to a very confident pick. Out of all the confident picks, I'm most confident in this one. It's going to be Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez seems like he is a championship level fighter, and it's more specifically because he can take advantage of what Brendan Allen lacks, and Brendan Allen is a fantastic 1.5 round fighter, and then we realized in recent times that he does have cardio issues. I have no reason to believe that Brendan Allen's going to show up with fantastic cardio and change everything that we've known about Brendan Allen. I have a hard prediction for this fight. I think Brendan Allen's going to have a very strong start. I think he's going to defend against Fluffy's grappling. I think he's going to perhaps even win the first round. Once we get into round 2, and especially the 1.5 mark, I believe that Fluffy will absolutely ragdoll and absolutely dummy him, because Brendan Allen's going to slow down, and his opponent's not. Fluffy is going to keep going, keep pressuring, and I think that we are going to see a very, very outstanding performance from Anthony Hernandez. I am supremely confident in him to get the job done, but with that being said, we also have one underdog opportunity for you guys this time around. Now, this isn't something that I'm necessarily going to be betting on. This isn't necessarily a pick of mine. It's just a part of, if you're looking for a value bet, this underdog would not shock me if they ended up pulling through. That's what the underdog opportunity is this time, and it's going to be Ricky Simon. This is a very, very big step up in competition for Javid Basharat, and while he's certainly demonstrated himself to be a very capable fighter, a very good fighter, he has all the technique in the world, his career so far hasn't been just steamrolling his opponents. Point being, he's having a big step up in competition over here. And Ricky Simon, a lot of people have been writing him off. I've been still on the Ricky Simon train. Not hey, Ricky Simon's going to come make a title run, but I still think he's a very, very good, capable fighter. Take a look at his last few losses. Song Yadong, Mario Batista, Vinicius Oliveira. Besides this Vinicius Oliveira fight, he still had some decent performances over in this fight. He's taking on the best of the best. Ricky Simon has taken on fighters that at this point in time have been supremely more experienced and better than Javid Basharat is. Javid Basharat is unproven. Javid Basharat is good technically everywhere except one spot. That is straight up wrestling. And we've seen a lot of times throughout the UFC that wrestling cancels out jiu-jitsu. If you made me pick, I still do believe that Javid Basharat's technique on the ground would outdo Ricky Simon, but it wouldn't shock me if Ricky could hold him down, get some ground and pound, and Ricky Simon could really put the pace on Javid Basharat because, again, we've seen him have better performances against better competition. I'm not counting out Ricky Simon. I'm not confident in Javid Basharat whatsoever. In saying that, I'm going to be honest, I still do think that Javid Basharat's going to win the fight, but it would not shock me at all if Ricky Simon got the job done. I think he's an excellent underdog opportunity. Now, guys, let's move on to a few fights that I believe that you should not be betting on. The first one, I don't really have too much to say. Modestas Bukauskas versus Rafael Kakera. I don't really know who's going to win this fight. I think it could go either way. There is not a ton. I know, Modestas has looked good, but honestly, I'm not ready to count out the Lion just yet. I think it's a closer fight than people are making it out to be. There's not a ton to really mention about that one. Let's continue on over to the next fight that I don't believe you should be betting on. That is Ion Cutelaba versus Ibo Aslan. More so because it's Ion Cutelaba. You can never trust this guy's chin. Sometimes he's going to come out there, he's going to slug it out, look pretty good. Other times he's going to get clipped. You can't, and I personally will not be betting on a guy that you can't comfortably say what's going to happen with his chin. I will mention, though, the last couple performances from Ion Cutelaba have been more of a little bit of a safe approach, but I'm not ready to say that Ion Cutelaba is changing how he fights. He could slug it out with Ibo Aslan, and we don't really know how that's going to work. So I'm staying away from anything to do with Ion Cutelaba. I don't care who his opponent is, okay? Let's continue on to the next fight that I believe you should be avoiding. Rob Font versus Gene Massamuto. Okay. If this was not a short notice fight, I would be speaking very differently on this fight, okay? I think Gene Massamuto is an excellent fighter. The problem is, this is a very short notice fight for him, okay? Rob Font had another opponent. Rob Font was supposed to fight Dominic Cruz. Gene Massamuto stepped in. You just got to worry about it, man, because Rob Font, while he's up there in age, he's way past his prime, and he doesn't really seem like he can hang with the top of the division anymore. He's still a very capable fighter. He had a training camp for this, and Gene Massamuto, who knows if he's going to be ready for it. It is also a step up in competition for Gene Massamuto because take a look at who he's taken on so far in the UFC, and he's looked great. He's had a fantastic career so far, and he's a very promising fighter. Just because it's a short notice, I would stay away from this one. I don't know how ready he is, how in shape he is. Just got questions for that, okay? Let's continue on, guys, to my personal lock of the week. The fighter on the card that I believe has the biggest chance of winning is going to be Song Yadong. This hurts me to say because I'm a big Henry Cejudo fan. I like Song Yadong as well, but I do not see anything that Triple C is going to outdo Song Yadong in. Maybe in round one. Henry Cejudo in his last couple fights, he has shown that he is past his prime, especially even, and I have trouble saying this because even against Merab, I know Merab puts an otherworldly amount of pressure on you, but Henry Cejudo could have lasted 3 rounds with Merab like a prime Henry Cejudo. Plus, Henry Cejudo, I don't know if you've looked at pictures of him in the last couple weeks, he doesn't appear to be in as good of shape as he's historically been in. Song Yadong is extremely hungry. Song Yadong has just lost and had lost. Honestly, that fight could have probably gone either way. Piotr Yan, in the state that he's in right now, to have a back and forth technical war with him says all I need to hear. Song Yadong is up there with the top of the division. Song Yadong is a championship caliber fighter. I believe that no matter where the fight goes, Song Yadong is going to be able to outdo Henry Cejudo. And I would imagine it's going to be a 5-round fight, but I am very, very confident that Song Yadong gets a job done. It sucks, man, because I'm a big Henry Cejudo fan, but that is the fight that I am most confident in on the card. Let's continue on, guys, over to the next part of the video. A little bit more of a fun part. Okay, guys, this is where we just take a look at any props right now. I'm recording this video Sunday night, so there's not always a ton that's available for us to take a look at. So let's take a look over at Odds Jam over here. And by the way, guys, if you want to sign up to Odds Jam, we have a partnership with Odds Jam on the channel. You can check out the pinned comment description down below. Great for serious sports bettors. My link, code Clenbat, you can get a discount if you'd like to sign up to Odds Jam. Anyways, we can see some over-unders we have over here. Ibo Aslan, Ion Cutelaba, over 1.5 minus 123. That's crazy. Let's take a look at anything else that stands out here. Javid Basharat, Ricky Simon, over 2.5. Yeah, unfortunately, you wouldn't get crazy odds like that. Julius Walker, Alonzo Menefield, plus money for over 1.5 on that. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm a big fan of 1.5 round bets. Song Yadong, Henry Cejudo, over 4.5 minus 138. Still nothing. 2.5 minus 425 for this fight. This one, I don't know. Maybe there's an under that we could chase. 2.5, 325. Call me crazy, but I actually don't hate that. It's not a bet that I would place, but I actually really don't hate that. What else do we have going over here? Gene Silva over 1.5. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. I don't mind Melsa Bagdasarian and Gene Silva over 1.5 at almost minus 200, maybe for a parlay piece. Anthony Hernandez, Brendan Allen over 2.5 minus 117. So I guess a lot of people are thinking that Anthony Hernandez is going to finish Brendan Allen. I don't hate that either, but it's definitely not something that I would do. This fight has been canceled. What else we got over here? Ruziboa versus Mikonkio, is over 1.5 for plus 100. I haven't seen enough of Eric in order to really say how I feel about that. But other than that, I think that this is going to go the distance. Melquiz Acosta versus Andre Fili. Like, I even don't mind those odds at minus 220, to be honest with you. Other than that, that makes sense. Over 1.5 for Malik to go plus 155. There's a lot of odds there that make sense. There's a couple, like, I don't mind going the distance for Melquiz Acosta, Andre Fili. This one's risky, but it's possible. Like, there's some good ones over here. There's some good ones, guys. Let's go into the fun parlay section, guys. Of course, we can't build anything with props right now, but hey, let's take a look what we got over here. Let's take a look, guys. Okay, so, and I'll move over to the other side of the screen over here. Something my sister and I do. If you're new to the channel, sorry if you guys, by the way, have to hear this every single week. My sister and I, every single weekend, we put 10 cents on every underdog to get the job done. And oh boy, is it probably going to be a little bit juicier this time around. Let's see. 10 cents, $35,000. I thought it'd be a little bit more than that, but that's crazy, man. That's crazy. We were almost millionaires one time in Bellator. So let's pick some confident picks over here, guys. Let's see what we got over here. Like Melquiz Acosta, I can't believe that this is tell me if you guys think I'm crazy for this one, guys. I think that Melquiz Acosta is going to get the job done. That's a very, very good value. Excuse me. We have Anthony Hernandez, Gene Silva, Mansour Abdul Malik, and Song Yadong. That's 5 times your money. With a parlay that big, though, that's a problem. Something is bound to go wrong. Something's absolutely bound to go wrong. Okay, but you know what I don't mind? To be honest with you, something like, I'll just clear it here, sorry guys. Something I don't mind, like Gene Silva, that's too big of a favorite to really bet on by itself. So Gene Silva, like an Anthony Hernandez together, that's something that I personally would play at that kind of value. I don't mind that at all. Melquiz Acosta is definitely good by itself. Song Yadong, like, I would like to see better odds on that. Maybe like Song Yadong, Henry Cejudo, and a plus or an over 1.5 on that just to boost it up just a little bit. That I don't mind as well. If you want to take, what are a couple other underdogs we could take a look at? But honestly, the only underdog that really stuck out to me was Ricky Simone, and that would be a fight that you would bet on just by itself. But if you want to add to it, you can have the Mansour Abdul Malik, Gene Silva. If you want to put these together, still not worth it. Yeah, I'm supremely confident in both those fights. I don't think that we're going to see a fraud check in Mansour Abdul Malik, guys, honestly. But let's just pick the fights. Let's see. There's a few fights where I'm like, oh man, that's tough. That is tough, okay? We're going to pick Melquiz Acosta, Anthony Hernandez, Ibo Aslan, Gene Silva, Mansour Abdul Malik, Rafael, Ruziboev. Definitely don't bet on this fight. I don't like betting on this fight at all. Gene Masumuto and then Song Yadong together, 58 times your money. That's crazy. Definitely not going to happen. Definitely not going to call that. But hey, something that we're going to get into, by the way, is I happen to call a lot of fights right in a row. But anyways, there's some potential over here. Like, I don't mind some over 1.5 round props on some of these fights. Like, we have Andre Fili, Melquiz Acosta. I'm interested to see what that ends up being, of course. Oh, yeah, for the 1.5, I'm saying. 1.5 I really like. But even then, going the distance, I don't hate that. This one's a little bit risky. But if you can find like a fight to start round 2, that I really do like, okay? Gene Silva, it depends how long Melsik Bagdasarian can last, to be honest with you. And Henry Cejudo, Song Yadong, I like that to go over 1.5 as well. There's a few things that you can do around here. But guys, let's continue on over to the channel betting recap. Now, there was something that wasn't on here that my sister and I ended up doing just as a last minute thing. Ended up working very well. You know what? I'll show it to you right now, okay? I'll show it to you right now because I had to screenshot it because I know that there's a bunch of YouTubers online that are like, oh, well, I didn't perform in betting. But my live betting saved the day. All I did was live bet, and then I actually ended up in the positive. Something I pride myself over here is with honesty, so if I do make any live bets or something, I will make sure I screenshot it if I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to be like, yeah, just did some live bets over here. Plus, I think that I've built a little bit of trust with the amount of times that we have lost on the channel, and then I've ended up like owning those losses. I know it sounds a little bit egotistical, but it's something I do pride myself on. But regardless, because I didn't want you to see my information, I literally just took a quick pause and uploaded them into Adobe Photoshop just to get the point over here. So you can see over here that, it's not cut off for you, barely. So what we ended up doing, my sister and I, she was like, okay, let's make another bet. Let's make a fun parlay. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm always down for that. We took 50 cents. And I was like, all right, you just want me to pick? Because my sister doesn't know a ton of MMA. I'm like, sure. All right. Jacqueline Cavalcanti by decision or technical decision. Walter Walker by finish. Bonfim by submission or decision. Over 1.5 for the girl fight. Andre Petrosky by submission or decision. And to be honest with you, I did give that fight to Verrera, but it was close enough to not complain, okay? And then we have Nazim Sadikov to win, Edmund Shabazian to win by finish, and then I cashed out. I cashed out because I was like, I don't trust Cannonier on that one. We were going to make about $140 for everything together, but I was like, Kristen, man, we're done. We're cashing out. I'm out. No way I'm putting my money on Gregory Rodriguez over there. But if we were to like call a specific thing, I thought I didn't mind the chances for Gregory Rodriguez, which we ended up seeing. So it's things like this that make me think like, hey, it'd be fun to put more than 50 cents on here, but this would never happen. If you guys are interested, by the way, I can make something like this and just throw 50 cents at it every week if anybody just wants to have some fun with us, because my sister and I do some like ridiculous bets all the time just to make the card a little bit more fun to watch. But let's bring you through over to what I actually ended up posting, because that was very last minute, but this is everything that I loaded up into. Let me bring it to you over here. Excuse me for just a moment. UFC Vegas 102 official plays. As we did last week, I want to try some riskier things for that reason, keeping things very small again. And I uploaded a members video only after that. So I added a ridiculous bet, a long shot bet over here, and that was Jared Cannonier to win by decision or technical decision. Almost happened, and the value for it was fantastic, okay? The fun parlay busted. Ketlin Souza dropped the ball. How do you lose to Angela Hill? Oh, and I even said this in the betting guide, man. I even said this in the betting guide. Angela Hill sometimes just wins, but I couldn't help it. Like, oh, man, that's crazy. But anyways, the only other one we ended up getting wrong was Jesus Aguilar. That was purely an underdog opportunity that I wanted to hit. I thought the value for him was absolutely insane, but of course, it didn't end up going our way. But I only bet with 0.10 units, so like I didn't trust this card too much. But anyways, had another single bet for Walter Walker, Gabriel Bonfim, and then a 2-fight parlay with Jacqueline Cavalcanti and Edmund Shabazian to win. Those all looked good, and of course, no matter what, my 50 cents ended up working out. So if you guys want to see what I am doing with my own money every single week, you can either check out the channel membership. I'm sorry, if you wanted to see or either support the channel, you can check out the channel membership right next to the subscribe button or in the description, or the link in the description, pinned comment down below. You can check out either of them. Very cheap compared to other channels. I upload a members only video and a YouTube community post for members only every single Thursday, Friday, or Saturday morning. They will be out depending on like if I want to bet on Friday fights or not, so you can expect all of that. I'll show you exactly what I'm doing with my money, and if there are any members watching this and you want me to build like a very specific parlay, I guarantee you it won't hit, because like the chances of that are crazy, but I'm more than happy to do it. I'll throw 50 cents at it. I don't care. My sister and I throw 10 cents at every underdog every single week. So if that's something you guys are interested in, then please let me know. But this has been the official betting guide. I really appreciate your time over here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the full card breakdown on screen right now. I would love to have you over there. Thank you for watching. Take care.